Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Doing a late night recording show. I'm actually going to drop this. As soon as I get done recording, I'll go ahead and post it. But it's only 2 games in the W4 Monday night. So I'm going to jump right into them. Do me a favor, hit the like button for me as you can. Subscribe to the channel. Whenever you're watching this video, whether it's, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning or 2, 3 o'clock in the evening tomorrow, hopefully these lines haven't moved too much. One thing that I really love, another thing that I'm trying to get towards, and I got a player prop that I want to drop for you guys as well that I do like that I have not played yet. So let's jump into it. A quick recap of yesterday. We always start the show this way. Chicago, Indiana did go up and over the total. Chicago got their offense together. Indiana said, you know what, we can outscore Chicago. So their game did go over the total. We got a pretty good number at 160.5. Didn't matter. Golden State laid the biggest egg that they've laid all season. I was on the wrong side of that one. Connecticut smoked them, rolled them up, and got rid of them today. So started the day 0-2, and then did take the fever once Angel Reese got ruled out. They lost the game, I think, by 15, so that was a winner. And then Phoenix, nice little bounce back spot. Shout out to AT. Minus 7.5 was a winner as well. We lose a little bit of juice overall, and you can see the season numbers as well. Hopefully you guys made some money. All right, so let's jump into it for tomorrow or today. As far as jaXon goes, your AI sports betting tool, jaXon did not have a good day today. Natasha Howard, actually, jaXon liked her over 12.5 points. She finished with 0. She did not score the basketball. And then Kayla McBride under her 2.5 assists. She finished right at 3. So 0-2 day for jaXon yesterday. As far as the player props for tomorrow, jaXon likes. I'll give you guys one. Sabrina Ionescu over her 2.5 3-point makes, and definitely shop around and make sure you guys are getting the best of the line. But here's the analysis here. It says Sabrina has shown a strong tendency to hit the over on her 3-pointers recently, doing so in 60% of her last 5 games, 60% of her last 10 games. Her season average is 2.5 3-point makes per game, right at this line. However, her performance against the Dallas Wings in particular is compelling. In the 2 games against them last season, she hit the over 100% of those games, averaging an impressive 4 threes made per contest. And then you got the news narrative. So a major factor supporting this pick is the news that New York superstar Breanna Stewart will be out due to a leg injury. With Stewie sideline, Ionescu is expected to make an even larger offensive role, take on an even larger offensive role, increasing her shot attempts and opportunities from beyond the arc. This increased volume, combined with her strong historical performance against the Wings, makes the over for her 3-point prop a very attractive play. So jaXon likes Sabrina Ionescu over her 3-point prop. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check out jaXon. Let's get into it, man. So first game up we got is the Storm and the Connecticut Sun. Line in this one opened at 9.5, is actually moving north in favor of Seattle. It's all the way up to, I see, at 12. Consensus is 11.5 right now. Total open 159.5, and it's coming down to 158. So you got 2 teams kind of going in opposite directions here. Seattle has won just one of their, I think, 3 games since the All-Star break. I think they come in to this game with a pretty clean injury report. Connecticut, of course, playing on the second leg of a back-to-back, so they can rest players in their spot. Last game of a 3-game road trip for Seattle. They've alternated wins and losses in their last 5 games, just kind of win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Connecticut, on the other hand, 4th straight home game for them. Like I said, second leg of a back-to-back. They're coming off the biggest margin of victory that they've had all season, and they've covered 5 of their last 6 games. So Connecticut is playing some pretty good basketball. 4th and final meeting of the season. Connecticut has covered all 3 games against Seattle. The first 2 did go over. The last one went under 157 in Seattle. So we've seen some pretty good offensive performances in these games. So initially, and this is the game I'm not really sure on, but initially the way I was thinking about it was to take Seattle. I don't really want to lay too many points with them. I think 12 is too many. We'll see what this number actually closes at. Connecticut, I don't want to take anything away from them because they took my money today, but I think Golden State turned the basketball over led to a lot of the points that Connecticut was able to score. Connecticut ended the game with a season-high 95 points. Now, granted, I think they shot 50% from the 3-point line in the first half. They ended up 41% for the full game. But a lot of the points that they scored were off turnovers. Golden State was just out there giving them the basketball. If you guys watched it, you saw it, right? 24 turnovers is what the Valkyries had against the Connecticut Sun. And that ended up being 34 points. So you take away 34 points. I mean, I guess you take away, 20 of those points, and this team finishes with 75 points instead of 95 points. And that is problematic because I think Seattle. Well, I know Seattle is not a team that's going to turn the ball over that many times. So I think Seattle is the right side as far as the full game. From a turnover perspective, Seattle will force a lot of turnovers. They don't necessarily turn the ball over themselves. They actually protect the basketball better than any team in the WNBA. So the way I was kind of thinking about the game was I actually thought over, right? So a couple things pointed me to over, even though Seattle has been pretty terrible offensively. They played 6 straight unders. 8 of their last 10 games have gone under. Outside of the game against the Sky where they scored 95 points, his offenses look absolutely atrocious. However, when I look at unrested teams coming off a win as a dog, which the Connecticut Sun are, those games typically go over 62% of the time in the next game, including 76.5% since 2017 at 13-4-1 to the over. Connecticut's offense is actually 5th in offensive rating the last 5 games. They're 8th in pace. And I know you're thinking to yourself, these are not the greatest numbers, Chris, but both of those are actually up from 13th. This was the worst team as far as pace, as far as offensive rating in the last 5 games. I mean, for the full season. So those numbers have come up a little bit. Seattle team total is 84.5. It's minus 125 over on FanDuel. So it probably will be bumped up to about 85.5 tomorrow. I think Connecticut, will struggle. I think they're probably feeling themselves after scoring 95 points. You also got Seattle coming off the loss against the Washington Mystics. So I looked at teams coming off a win as a dog, and they won the game by 15 points, and then they're unrested. 82% hit rate says to take Seattle team total over tomorrow. Seattle has gotten to 93 points, so better twice against the Suns defense. This reminds me a little bit of Seattle when they ran into Chicago after losing to Dallas earlier last week, and they scored 95 points in the game. I think Seattle can force Connecticut into some turnovers the same way that Connecticut forced Golden State into some turnovers and get some easy buckets and get up and over their team total. So I like Seattle team total over more than anything else in this game. Not going to touch the spread in this one, though. I don't feel comfortable taking the points because I think it could be a letdown for Connecticut after a big win. And Seattle laying this many points on the road. I found some really strong trends to back Seattle, but I don't think I want to get there to back Seattle either. So that's my thought process on this game. Again, hit the like button for me as you can. If you can, definitely helps out the show and algorithm. Let's move over to the game that I am playing. And this is the New York Liberty and the Dallas Wings, right? So this spread actually opened with the New York Liberty laying 8 points. It's now coming down to 7.5. It looks like 8 is still consensus. The total is moved up to about 169.5. It looks like it's consensus now. So injury report is important in this game. Nair Sabli is going to continue to be out, I think, for like the next 2 weeks for the Liberty. No Stewie, even though she's going to be on the road trip for this team. And then for the Dallas Wings, they can, of course, submit their injury report late because they will be playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. But we should expect Paige Beckers to return after missing tonight's game against the Las Vegas Aces just due to rest. So you're looking at this Liberty team, and this actually doesn't set up well for the Liberty. This will be their 10th road game. They're only 2-7 against the spread on the road. This starts, I think, at least a 6-game road trip for them after an 8-game homestand. They lost, of course, on Saturday to the LA Sparks. We did get that one right. We got the total right as well. And that was after beating Phoenix on Friday. So there's a 3rd game in 4 nights for them as well. And then on the Dallas Wings side of things, not that they are any better. They only 5-7 against the spread at home this season. This is the 2nd game back home for them. And of course, they're unrested. They've lost back-to-back. They failed to cover back-to-back. They got smoked by the Aces tonight. Lost to Golden State in the second half after letting, pretty much not being able to hold on to the lead that they had in the first half in that game. And so it's also 3rd game in 4 nights for them as well. Then you look at, the historical matchup. The Liberty owned the Dallas Wings. They've beaten them 5 straight times. This is the first time Paige Beckers will play against them, so it's the first meeting this season. Last season, going back, though, New York did win 3 of the – they won and covered 3 of the 5 meetings last season. I think one of them was a push as well. So the way I'm thinking about – and I'll just go player prop first, right? So – what I'm looking at in this game, and I'm actually going to pull this up so you guys can see it. I'm going to just go over to Outlier really quickly. Tell you guys what stands out to me. Jacquel Jones, her 3-point prop, you can see it here. It's listed at 1.5 minus 112 right now. I am thinking that we see some juice start to come in on her 3-point prop. This is a nice little spot for jaXon, in my opinion. So she's over in 2 of her last 3 games. You can see that here since she's been back. She gets a great matchup against Leah Roof. I think she absolutely is going to dominate that matchup against Roof. But most importantly, you come down here, you can see their minutes have been consistent. Only 22 and a half in her first game back after missing a little over a month. You can see that here. But pretty much 29 minutes in back-to-back games. But then you look at her attempts, and she's getting them up, right? 7, 4, and 4 in the 3 games that since she's returned. So what's that? 11, 15 threes in the last 5 games. You can see that she's shooting 40% from the 3-point line, 40% from the 3-point line on 4 makes over her last 10 games. But more so, I'm just keying on these 3 here, right? 43, 50% in these 2 games, and then only 1 for 5, 1 for 4 in this game against Phoenix. So I like jaXon Jones. I think, like I said, she gets a pretty good matchup here. What I ended up playing, though, give you guys what I did play. Hopefully you're watching the show early enough that if you want to tell, you can get this number before it moves too much. What I ended up playing was I ended up playing the over. I mean, this one's pretty simple, right? You got we start with the Wings defense. It's been really, really poor recently. Defensively, tonight they gave up a career high 19 points to Kirsten Bell off the you could say off the bench. It was her first game starting, and she absolutely hooped tonight against this Wings defense. But more importantly, the Aces, they had 6 players in double figures, and 5 of them shot at least 50%. This is not a Wings defense that's doing anything spectacular. Dallas is a second worst defensive team last 5 games. They allowed the second most points at 89.5 per contest as well. Then you start to look at the Liberty's offense. You can see it in the graphic here. The second in offensive rating, first in points per game on the season, 88 points per game. Last 5 games, they're averaging 92.5. Libs also averaged the second most assists. Dallas allows the most assists in the WNBA. So I think that Sabrina, going to be dominant out there as well tomorrow. Libs also scored the most fast break points in the WNBA, and the Dallas Wings give up the second most. Then you start to look at the pace. You can see here, first for the Libs on the full season and the last 5 games. And then Dallas fourth in their last 5 games and on the full season as well. I think getting Paige Beckers tomorrow also helps out the offense, like naturally, like duh, that makes sense. And then I looked at the Stewie impact as well, right? So I looked at the numbers with Stewie on the floor versus being off the floor. The offense stays about the same without Stewie on the floor. I think they're like a net rating of like -1 without her on the floor, but the defense also gets slightly worse as well. I think like a -2 defensively without her on the floor. So that's good for Dallas offense. You only need Dallas to get to about 80 points in this game, in my opinion. I think the team total is something like 80 and a half. Based on pace, I think they get there. Based on having Paige Beckers back, I think they should be able to get there. Dallas averages 82 on the full season. They average 82 and a half over their last 5 games. They lead the league in second chance points, and I think that's how they're going to be able to score. I think Dallas is going to be trading 2s for 3s. I think the Liberty light them up from the 3-point line, and I think Dallas, is going to be able to score in the interior. But jaXon is back now, but the Libs do give up the most points, more second chance points. And then a couple trends as well. Libs defense not as good on the road for whatever reason. They're 7-2 to the over in their road games, averaging 171 points. And Dallas has played 4 of their last 5 home games up and over the total as well. So I did play over. You still can get a 168.5 on BetMGM. But I'm expecting it to close north of 170, maybe even get up to 171 tomorrow. As far as the spread goes, I know it's ugly, but I think the Wings can cover this game tomorrow. I really, really do. I agree with the number coming down from 8 to 7.5. Like I said, I think the Liberty have failed to cover. I think it was like 6 straight games, 6 straight games on the road as a dog. And I know those games didn't have jaXon Jones, but now they got jaXon Jones, but they don't have Stewie. So I think the Libs are going to go through, some tough times. Granted, their road schedule is for this road trip is pretty easy. They got the Wings 3 of their next 6 games. Do got a really, really tough game against the Lynx on Wednesday. But outside of that, I can't remember. I think they play the Sun again. Like it's a pretty easy road trip. So I'm expecting Stewie to be out for a while, make a full recovery. Grand scheme of things, Liberty's still second best team in the WNBA as far as record-wise goes right now. So that's my thought process, man. I bet the over in this game. Again, hit the like button for me if you can. Also added this. I forgot to read this. So this was a quote. So Joey, I don't even Mistretta, I think it's how Mistretta is how I think you pronounce his last name. He covered the Dallas Wings, and this was just a quote I found from him that also just kind of rang true to me. That's how I think about the Wings. He said he asked the head coach for the Dallas Wings, Chris Coquelins, what needs to change for the Wings to become a contender. And he says, I quote, "It's defense, first and foremost. Offensively, we show spurts where we need consistency more on both sides of the floor, but we need to know that we're going to give ourselves a chance every night on the defensive end. And right now, that just has not been the case. It's defense first and foremost. So maybe they come out play some defense. I don't think they're playing any defense. I think this game's going to be high pace. I think we see a bunch of points, and that's why I took the over. So yeah, I bet the over. I like Seattle team total over. Didn't bet that one. Jacquel Jones over her points prop. And then as far as spreads go, I would bet. I wouldn't know. I don't really know what to do. I kind of want to lay with Seattle, but I don't think I will. And it would definitely be Dallas plus the points. I know it seems ugly, but I think it'd be Dallas plus the points for me tomorrow if I was betting that. Sign up link is in the description of the video, as it always is. If you guys want all official plays when I do make them, check out the resources that I use to handicap games: jaXon, Outlier, Moneyballer, OddsJam, and of course, Give Me the Dog, Killer Sports, and Cleaning the Glass at the bottom as well. And that'll be the show, man. Like I said, hit the like button for me if you can on the way out. Subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. I'm gonna get back to doing early morning shows really, really soon. So yeah, catch you guys in the next one, man. Enjoy your Monday.